Pope Francis has approved a landmark ruling that will allow Catholic priests to administer blessings to same-sex couples.
In a recent interview in Turkey, Orthodox and Catholics are working together to unify the date of Easter.
These 3 shepherd children, they are out in the field, and Our Lady, the Blessed Mother, appears to them.
Cave explorers have just captured the clearest image ever of Virgin Mary's tomb, sealed for over 2,000 years. Deep in the dark passages of Jerusalem's Kidron Valley, the discovery of a new relic is sending shockwaves through the Christian world. Could this discovery change what we know about her life and final days? Tune in to find out how this relic might rewrite everything we thought we knew. The Tomb of Mary reveals new darker clues. The recently reopened Tomb of the Virgin, sealed for more than 2,000 years, lies deep in the shadowy passages of Jerusalem's Kidron Valley at the base of the Mount of Olives. This sacred place is believed to be the final resting spot of Mary, the mother of Jesus. Every year, many people visit this site to pay their respects to her. The reopening of her tomb raises many questions. The truth hidden within these ancient walls will soon challenge everything we thought we knew about Mary's life. When we think of religious history, we often focus on Jesus' life. But Mary's story is equally significant. Her life represents devotion, sacrifice, and quiet strength. Though not many objects or relics connected to her have survived through the ages, this tomb in Jerusalem remains an important symbol for those looking to connect with one of history's most cherished mothers. As people gather at this holy site, rumors spread about a new relic discovered inside. Some believe it could be linked to Mary, stirring curiosity about what it might reveal and how it could change our understanding of her life. Jerusalem's Kidron Valley is home to other significant historical sites, like the Tomb of Absalom, the Tomb of Jehoshaphat, and the Tomb of Zechariah. Nearby, the Garden of Gethsemane and the Church of All Nations are also sacred places rich with history and religious importance. For local Christian communities, this tomb holds a special place. Over the centuries, many stories have circulated about Mary's final days. Some say she passed away peacefully. Others suggest she died as a martyr, and a few even claim she was taken up into heaven. Could the findings from this tomb clarify these different accounts and reshape how we understand Mary's life? After Jesus' resurrection, stories about him and his close followers, including Mary, were shared by word of mouth long before being written down. As these stories became written text, some details changed. The tales of Mary's last days are equally varied. Some say she died peacefully in her old age, while others describe a more dramatic end, or even her miraculous ascension to heaven. There is even a legend that tells of a vision Mary had one night in Ephesus. In this vision, a figure dressed in white revealed deep truths that challenged Mary's understanding of her future. But this is only one part of her incredible story. As we continue to investigate this newly opened tomb, we might uncover facts that could dramatically change what we think we know about Mary's life and even the larger history of the Church. In Catholic teachings, Mary holds a central role. She is considered extremely important to the Church, and recent discoveries have led to renewed discussions about her life. On November 1, 1950, Pope Pius XII declared the doctrine of the Immaculate Conception, stating that Mary, like Jesus, was born free from original sin. Yet a lingering question remains. Did she die before her ascension into heaven? In the year 1054, Christianity experienced a significant split, known as the Great Schism. This led to different beliefs about Mary's final days. For example, the Eastern Church celebrates something called the Dormition, where they believe Mary simply fell into a peaceful sleep rather than experiencing death as we typically understand it. This belief shows just how important Mary is in Christian teachings. Mary's life on earth is filled with details that have fascinated people for centuries. As we learn more, we understand why she is so important in church traditions. While the Eastern Orthodox Church does not officially recognize the Assumption as a doctrine, it still holds it in high regard and has woven it into its cultural and religious practices. Pope Pius XII's declaration wasn't just about honoring Mary. It also aimed to strengthen the faith of Christians by connecting her journey to heaven with the hope of eternal life for all believers. This statement led to further questions about the stories surrounding Mary's death and burial. One famous story from the 7th century says that the Apostle Thomas arrived at Mary's tomb only to find it empty, except for her burial clothes. This tale evolved over time, with some later versions suggesting that Mary gave Thomas her belt from heaven as proof of her ascension. These stories have inspired many pieces of religious art, showing Mary's Assumption. Even though different versions of the story exist, the Assumption has been celebrated for centuries across Christian traditions. By the year 600, Emperor Maurice officially recognized it as a public holiday in the Eastern Roman Empire. The roots of the Assumption can be traced back to early Christian writings and oral traditions, especially among Jewish Christians, and likely began during or soon after the Apostolic era. While many accept these stories as fact, scholars believe they have evolved and come from multiple sources. Mary's Assumption story has gone through many changes over the years, which makes it interesting. Even today, some parts of this tradition are not fully understood. One early Christian text from the 2nd or 3rd century, called the Book of Mary's Repose, is often referenced. However, it is not considered historically accurate, as its details do not match the common Christian beliefs of the time. Despite the uncertainties, many believe that the idea of the Assumption did not fully emerge until the 5th century. This raises questions about how the story was preserved for so long. A 4th century scholar, Epiphanius of Salamis, tried to find solid information about Mary's final days, but found nothing definitive. As we uncover more, there's still much to learn. What will the next part reveal about those we've just met? How did Mary's life truly end? While many in the Christian community believe that Mary, the mother of Jesus, was taken directly to heaven without experiencing death, a belief known as the immoralistic interpretation, this idea highlights the variety of perspectives about her final moments. Scholars continue to study Christian traditions, prayers, and ancient texts, and many of them support this view. Every year on August 15th, Catholics around the world joyfully celebrate the Feast of the Assumption, honoring this belief with reverence. This celebration is just as important in the Eastern Orthodox Church, where it is called the Dormition of the Mother of God. However, not all Christian groups share the same view. Among Protestant communities, opinions differ. Some embrace it fully, others take a middle ground, and some completely reject the idea. In the Anglican Communion, the Assumption was not traditionally part of their teachings, but since the 20th century, more Anglo-Catholics have started to accept it, calling it by different names. In October of 2016, a major moment in Christian history took place at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem, believed to be the burial site of Jesus. During some restoration work, researchers had a rare opportunity to lift the marble slab covering the tomb, revealing a glimpse of where Jesus was thought to have been laid after his crucifixion. This event allowed scholars to explore a key part of Christian history and to examine the tomb within the edicule, a small chapel built over the site. In 2017, Professor Antonia Marapoulou and her Greek research team undertook the restoration of the edicule in the tomb it protects. Their work was more than just a repair. It was a deep investigation into this important religious and historical place, which had been hidden from public view for many years. Using modern technology, they studied how the tomb was built and the changes made to it over the centuries, carefully recording everything they found. But the most surprising discoveries were still to come. As the team dug deeper, they uncovered new information about what is believed to be Jesus' final resting place. This sparked excitement and hopes for a big announcement that could change our understanding of this sacred site. One of the most intriguing moments came when the researchers found another stone layer beneath the original marble slab. This discovery generated even more interest, as they used advanced tools to explore what this hidden layer might reveal about the past. Could there be more secrets about Christian history lying just below the surface? The Church of the Holy Sepulchre continues to be a place of great importance. Not only is it considered the spot where Jesus was laid to rest, but it also stands as a powerful symbol of faith for countless believers around the world. This discovery has prompted many new questions about Christian history and how we understand the past. 6 different Christian denominations, the Greek Orthodox, Roman Catholic, Armenian Orthodox, Coptic, Ethiopian Orthodox, and Syriac churches, work together to care for and protect this sacred site. They ensure that it remains a peaceful and welcoming place for the many pilgrims who visit each year, drawn to its deep spiritual significance. As we reflect on these discoveries, it's clear that ancient beliefs still shape the way Christians practice their faith today. But these recent findings aren't just about Jesus' tomb. Over the years, the tomb of Mary has also been rebuilt and restored many times. Now maintained by the Greek Orthodox Church, her tomb is another destination for pilgrims who descend ancient stairways to chapels dedicated to her family and the tomb itself, which contains relics from the Middle Ages that tell stories of Christianity's rich past. Theories about where Mary is truly buried are just as varied. Some believe she is buried in far-off places like Turkmenistan, northern Iraq, a mosque in Mosul, or even Murree, Pakistan. These differing views continue to fuel debates about the authenticity of each of these locations and their importance to Mary's story. There are also legends about Mary's travels after Jesus' death, with some suggesting she may have gone as far as India with the Apostle Thomas. According to these stories, she ascended to heaven from Turkmenistan, with only Thomas witnessing this miraculous event. The only evidence left behind was a belt, which has since become the subject of much debate and intrigue. Now that we've explored these holy places, let's see how the Catholic Church has shaped the world and why it remains so important today. The Pope and the Holy See. The Roman Catholic Church is the largest Christian group in the world, with between 1,280,000,000 and 1,390,000,000 baptized members as of 2024. As one of the oldest and most widespread religious organizations, it has played a huge role in shaping Western society. It consists of 24 individual churches, including the Latin Church and 23 Eastern Catholic churches. These are organized into nearly 3,500 dioceses, areas under the care of bishops, and eparchies, Eastern equivalent of dioceses, worldwide. The Pope, who is the Bishop of Rome, is the Church's primary spiritual leader. The central administrative body, called the Holy See, is based in Vatican City, a small, independent state within Rome. Vatican City is not only the center of the Church's administration, but also where the Pope serves as head of state. The core beliefs of the Catholic Church are expressed in the Nicene Creed, an ancient statement of faith. The Church sees itself as the one, holy, universal, and apostolic Church founded by Jesus Christ. It teaches that its bishops are the successors of the apostles, with the Pope being the successor of St. Peter, who was chosen by Jesus to lead the Church. According to Catholic teaching, the Church has remained true to the original Christian message passed down from the apostles, preserved through the Bible and sacred traditions, and interpreted by the Church's teaching authority, known as the Magisterium. Within the Church, there are different rites, which are forms of worship. The Roman Rite, which is the most common, is part of the Latin Church, but the Eastern Catholic churches have their own diverse liturgies, reflecting various spiritual and theological traditions. Central to the Church's worship is the Eucharist, one of the 7 sacraments. In the Eucharist, Catholics believe that during the Mass, the bread and wine are transformed into the body and blood of Christ. The Virgin Mary is also an important figure in Catholicism, honored as the Mother of Jesus, or Mother of God, and celebrated in various devotions. Catholic teachings emphasize helping those in need, whether they are sick, poor, or suffering. This is done through both physical and spiritual acts of mercy. The Church runs a large network of schools and hospitals, making it the largest non-governmental provider of education and healthcare in the world. It also oversees many charitable organizations that provide assistance to people in need. One of the remarkable aspects of the Church is its influence on many aspects of Western civilization, including philosophy, culture, art, literature, music, law, and even science. Today, Catholics can be found all over the world. While Europe, where the Church has its roots, has become more secular, less religious. There are growing Catholic populations in the Southern Hemisphere, especially due to missions, migration, and conversions. In the past, the Catholic Church was in full communion with the Eastern Orthodox Church, but this ended in the year 1054 due to disagreements, especially about the authority of the Pope. In the 16th century, the Reformation led to the creation of Protestant communities, which separated from the Catholic Church. More recently, the Church has faced criticism over issues such as its views on sexuality, the fact that women cannot be ordained as priests, and how it has handled cases of sexual abuse by clergy members. To understand where the term Catholic comes from, we can go back to the 2nd century. It was first used by St. Ignatius of Antioch in a letter around the year 110 AD. The word Catholic means universal, and the Church has always seen itself as the one universal Christian Church. This idea was solidified in 380 AD when Emperor Theodosius I made Nicene Christianity, the form of Christianity that the Catholic Church follows, the official religion of the Roman Empire through the Edict of Thessalonica. The New Testament of the Bible describes Jesus' life and teachings, how he chose 12 apostles to carry on his work, and how they started the church's public ministry. This began at Pentecost when the apostles received the Holy Spirit, empowering them to spread the Christian message. The church believes that today's bishops are the successors of those apostles, with the Pope being the successor of St. Peter, the apostle chosen by Jesus to lead the church. During the early years of the church, the Roman Empire provided the perfect environment for the spread of new ideas, including Christianity, due to its vast roads and communication networks. However, because Christians refused to worship the Roman gods, they were often persecuted. This changed when Emperor Constantine legalized Christianity in the year 313. Later, it became the official religion of the Roman Empire, giving it a powerful role in society. The Catholic Church is organized in a strict hierarchy, with the Pope at the top. Below him are bishops, priests, and deacons. The day-to-day operations of the church are handled by the Roman Curia, a collection of departments that manage different aspects of church life. The Pope also has political power as the head of Vatican City, which is the world's smallest independent state. When the Pope dies or resigns, the College of Cardinals, a group of senior bishops, is responsible for electing a new Pope. Over the centuries, the Catholic Church has left a lasting impact on the world, especially on Western civilization. It has been at the center of major historical events and has shaped the development of art, law, and education. As the Church continues to address modern social and cultural challenges, it remains a significant force in global affairs, while also staying true to its foundational beliefs and traditions. The Church's ability to adapt to the changes of the modern world while holding on to its ancient traditions is one of its greatest strengths. Although it faces criticism and challenges, its influence and impact remain undeniable. In the same way that the Catholic Church has evolved through centuries while staying true to its roots, it reminds us that the balance between holding on to important traditions and embracing change can be a guiding principle in our own lives. Finding that balance may not always be easy, but it can lead to great personal growth. Thank you for exploring the Catholic Church's history and structure. Is its balance between tradition and modernity sustainable? Like, comment, and subscribe for more discussions.